Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to thrive during a pandemic and the loss of your father? Well, stay tuned to our next guest. My name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and the CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nursery, and the facilitator of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals and to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at the Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing, and if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called the Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. You can also visit our website at V as in Victor, P as in Paul, nursing.com. Our special guest today is Dr. Dwayne Alleyne, right? That's how you...
Yes, you got it correctly.
Dwayne Alleyne, Dr. Dwayne Alleyne, is currently clinical assistant professor at the University of South Carolina and the College of Nursing. He has been an acute care nurse practitioner for over 11 years and has been in nursing overall for over 20 years. Recently obtained his doctoral degree of nursing practice from the University of South Carolina in May of 2020. Dwayne currently serves as the Deacon Finance Chair and the Health Ministry Chair at the Church of Christ at Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia, South Carolina. He is the co-founder and former president of one of the largest nurse practitioner groups in South Carolina, Capital Nurse Practitioner Group, which serves over 300 members. He does legal nurse consulting on the side and is in the process of creating a new business with the goal of helping lawyers evaluate workers' compensation clients. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited as well.
So tell us a little bit about you, like the primary reason, like how long have you been nursing and how you've been nursing for 20 years, but what is your primary reasoning for becoming a nurse?
Well, originally I went to school to be a doctor. I did not want to be a nurse. My mother said, "You're going to be a nurse one day." I said, "No, I'm not going to be a nurse. No. So here I am now at the top level of nursing. I'm originally from New York. I have a twin brother, so if some of you guys see somebody walking around the Atlanta area that looks like me, that's not me. That's my brother. His name is Dwayne Alleyne. So like I've been, just as Dr. V said, I've been a nurse for over 20 plus years. I enjoy doing it. It's been very fulfilling, and I've seen a lot of opportunities and potential. So that's a little bit about me. I'm still New York in my blood, even though I'm in the South, but I always have New York in my veins.
Gotcha. Now, so I guess your mom has influenced your career choices by telling you were going to be a nurse.
Yeah,
Mama knows best.
Yeah, she was encouraging me to be a nurse. She said, "You got to be a nurse," because I truly wanted to go to med school and things didn't work out. So just be a nurse. You can still get achieve. I said, "No, Mom, I'm not going to do it. I want to be a doctor." And I was so fixated on it. But when I started looking at reality and trying to see where I can truly achieve and the next steps, that was the best case scenario. So.
And I think that now that I know that representation is everything, and having male nurses, because traditionally the role is held by females. It's good to have that diversity within the profession for sure. So we're super excited to have you. Super excited.
Yeah.
So now tell us a story, of course, without violating HIPAA, that solidified that the choice to become a nurse was the right choice.
So I don't have a specific story. It's hard to pinpoint because there's multiple stories that solidified that the choice to become a nurse was the right thing. I can tell you the progression of my career, and actually this moment right here defines that I made the right choice. I never in my world dreamed that I'll be on a podcast talking about my nursing career, but multiple things happened during my nursing career, mainly that showed the progression and the potential one thing about nursing, I always tell people, you just don't have to be at the bedside. You can utilize your skills to impact and influence people. So my ability to impact, influence, and make a difference in people's lives definitely solidified my choice that I made the right choice to become a nurse. So that's a overall overview of everything that happened, even up to this point right now, continues to solidify that I made the right choice.
Yes, I think that it is so true because for me, I just look at the diversity within nursing and the fact that, I mean, you are diversifying yourself in nursing. And so, and that is huge, right? Because
Mhm.
you don't just, and you don't, you, bedside nursing is not your only avenue. You know, it's
Mhm.
not just bedside nursing. It's not just, being a legal consultant. I mean, you can be a multitude. You want to be a teacher? Okay, let's be a teacher. I mean,
Mhm.
anything that you want to do, you can do it as a nurse. So I love it. I love it, the way that you put that. So now your
Mhm.
father recently passed away from COVID. My condolences and sincere thanks for the willingness to talk about it on this platform. And your sister was diagnosed with cancer as well. Now you also recently graduated with your DNP. So tell you
Yes.
what the reason, like what that season looked like for you, like the highs and the lows of that.
Okay, so it was very difficult since 2019. So my sister was diagnosed with cancer and she also passed as well. So my first challenge was the death of dealing with my sister, and she was on hospice. And I essentially became the hospice person for her. I had to travel a couple times to New Jersey from South Carolina to kind of be with her and help out the family. And then also my father passed at the beginning of COVID. Those two events are significant, especially when as it relates to my doctorate, because when my sister was sick, I was working on chapter 2. I'm not sure if those who do the doctorate, they have different chapters when you complete your paper. Chapter 2 is the most tedious part because you have to do the evidence table. And that's very requires a lot of work. So I see you pointing, so you realize how much work that it requires. So at that time, I was working on my evidence table, but I was at the bedside with my sister trying to spend the last quality times. I knew her time was closing. So the time with her was just knowing that it would end by, I wanted to maintain these precious moments. One of the things that resonated with me when I was sitting with my sister, I was sitting with her, we were watching movies, and I was thinking about my paper. And that time she was toward the end of our life. And that's the time when you get confused and you kind of wax and wane between confusion and lucidness. So there was a lucid moment where she looked me directly in the face and said, "Don't you have some work to do as far as your doctorate?" And I said, "No, that's okay. I need to spend time with you." She said, "No, do your work." And she looked me dead in the eye and said, "Promise me you will finish your doctorate." And I just ignored it. I said, "Yeah, whatever, sis, whatever." And she looked at me and said, "No, promise me you will finish your doctorate." I said, "Yes." And then she went back to her confused state. So that moment resonated with me and kept me going to progress. The day she died, I had to do a presentation. We had to do a little mini presentation as part of one of the courses where we had to do a quick 5-minute overview of our DNP project. And she died that day. People were telling me not to do it. I said, no, my sister would want me to do it. So I just had the strength to go through it because I just remember her face when she looked at me. Now I'm going to with my father, just kind of give a background on what I was dealing with. I worked full time in bunch of all my extracurricular activity. In order to pay for school, I had to work part time with the University of South Carolina teaching pharmacology. So I was teaching that course at the same time and working and going to school, and then having to deal with the diagnosis of COVID with my father. At that time, I was supposed to deliver my final project. So,
Wow.
and meanwhile, all the students were freaking out because of COVID. We had to make a lot of adjustments, especially with the exam schedules. Students were sending me emails left and right that they're stressed and they wanted me to expand the exam times. They can't do the work. A lot of them were very stressed out. Meanwhile, I'm internalizing all this stress. I can't even go to New York at this time because New York was a hotspot, and also I was working in the hospital, and they would have blocked me. So, and I had to go deal with that. And then my mother entrusted me because I'm the only healthcare professional in the family. So she was relying on me heavily to kind of help her through the process of his progress or prognosis. So at the hospital at work, I had to get on the phone with him and my mother and tell the providers to take him off the life support. So that was a very difficult time. And the next couple of days, I had to do my defense project, my final project. So the dean at that time was telling me, maybe you can postpone it and take an incomplete and wait until the next time. I said, no, my father and my sister, if they were alive today, they would have told me to keep going. And I remember that look my sister gave me, so it gave me the motivation, and I went through it. I almost cried when they said, you have passed. Congratulations, Dr. Alleyne. Those are the best words ever. So,
ever. Yeah, I just love it. So someone on Facebook, and I'm not sure exactly who, but they said, what a testimony of challenges, but you pressed for it. And that is amazing to go through all that, because as we, as both of us know, that final project is rough.
Yes.
It is rough. I mean, it's probably one of the roughest things that I have done so far. And
very rough.
that final defense, and then after the defense, then for them to call you and say you have, call you Dr. Alleyne.
So that doctorate, to some degree, some people may not look at it as relevant, but that doctorate has so much meaning to me, more than just, I passed the course, I went through the necessary, I met all the requirements. It was an achievement of challenges and overcoming a lot of things that I never thought I would overcome. So that doctorate, when I look on the wall, even my current position as a professor, is an achievement of challenges. That's what I call it. So it's more than a degree to me. So.
And I feel like that you're going to be super successful, because, I think that what the devil does is he kind of heats things up really hot, just at close to your success. And I can't wait to see where you are going. I can't wait to see that. And I'm so glad that your sister said what she said in the time in which she said it, that just, she's an angel looking down on you. I love it. So now, what are some of the reasons that that even though you have been through so much, that you still have the motivation to continue?
So number one is my faith. I'm a Christian, and my faith has took me through many challenges. Like I said, I always use the term, it's not about it's not about the journey, it's about the destination. So every journey sometimes is a detour, but your faith is the detour. So my faith, strong faith in Christ, has gotten me through, especially multiple challenges I have, and I can have comfort and know that even though I'm going through a storm, there will be a sunny day. And a sunny day for me in this instance was getting my doctorate. So that's what kept me going, because I knew, even though I dealt with death of my father, and I got my dream job was to be a clinical associate professor, and I got my doctorate. So, and I have a lot of friends that help support me, and they understand my faith, and a lot of members of church, they reach out to me in such a degree. And my position as deacon, they really supported me and called me. So my faith and prayer, lots and lots of prayer and family support have kept me motivated. And of course, my sister's face. I always go that face when she looked at me. It's impressed in my mind permanently.
I love it. TD Jakes talks about mastering your breaking points. And so a lot of times what we don't know how to do is master our breaking points. And they're going to be breaking points throughout our lives. On a regular basis. It just kind of is what it is, because calamity falls on the just and the unjust. But the reality is that if we can breast those breaking points, then we can be successful. So you look like you are working it out. And so it's a great representation for your family. It's a great representation for, other men and other African Americans who have, been through that. So I love it. So now, what are some things that you will give back to your community of healthcare professionals as a result of your amazing success, which is one thing that you're giving is to talk to us on this show. So I'm super excited about that. But what else?
A lot of things I hear, because I don't do things intentionally. I'm a humble type of person. I don't try to put myself at the forefront, but a lot of people have been, especially when I became a doctorate, I've been on LinkedIn a lot more. Focusing more on my successes. People, strangers, been saying I inspired them. So my goal is to inspire people to be inspiring. So my goal is not to inspire people necessarily, even though that's a good goal to have. But I want people to be inspiring. That's why there's a continuous chain, because we need to support one another. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us.
That's right.
It's easy to sit there and just look down at somebody and say, "Yeah, I got my success, but too bad." But my goal is to inspire those in the community so they can be inspiring, and it's a continuous chain of support. So that's my goal. That community.
That's a great goal. So now, who has impacted your leadership the most, and why were they so impactful?
So a lot of people down the list. So if I had to narrow it down, I say my wife. My wife is very unique in how she looks at my flaws, and she doesn't use it to beat me down. She uses it to turn it around and help me stay strong. She's probably been the only one of the few people that's been with me along this journey of ascension. As far as my career, she's encouraged me to do the business, and she always encouraged me to do more when I'm not sure of myself. So many people I can name, but one of the more key people is my wife. She doesn't even puff up my brain. She's not the type to puff up my brain and say, "You're the best." So I say, "No, you can do better." So she always challenges me, but she doesn't puff up my brain. So that's how I like her. She's real. I might say that. If I'm doing something wrong, she'll be the first one to tell me. I said, "I don't care. I'll just let you know. You need to do better, and you can do better because I know you can." And that's how I really take hold of it. I appreciate her for that.
So now, how long have y'all been married?
We've been married 15 years. In
15
this past
years.
September, yeah.
And how many children?
We have two. I have a 24-year-old and a 12-year-old.
Gotcha. Yeah, we were talking about being 12 and being, going through those middle school years. They're precious.
Yeah. Middle school years are all precious and stressful to some degree.
To every degree. What is the one characteristic that you believe every leader should possess, and why?
So one characteristic is humbleness. It's easy to be proud, have a lot of pride and boastful, but I used to be one of those people that used to be boastful and thought highly of myself and look down on each other, and that had unfavorable results. When I started focusing on humbleness, people reacted differently to me. I'm amazed how people respond to me, how people respect me now because I'm humble. I never try to, even with my current company, with Capital Nurse Practitioner Group, we've been very successful. And it's not because I've been bragging about myself or saying we do all this. It's because I remained humble and uplifted those around me instead of myself. So I recognize those around me will have the most influence and make me better. And also recognize our humbleness. People respect my leadership and respect what I say more than if I say, "I'm the man, you do this," versus I respect your decision. I appreciate your input, and I'll utilize it so we can both be a part of this success. So humbleness is definitely a key quality in leadership because it has helped me tremendously up to this point.
And that's so true. I forget who I was talking to, but it was somebody between today and yesterday, and we were talking about leadership, and we were talking about the fact that, leaders should be the ones that they should be the ones that eat last. They should be the ones that come into the room and not speak first, but they should be the one to hear what everybody else's opinion, because that gives you a gauge of what the room is. And also that helps you to be that servant leader, right? That humble leader that you're describing, so that you are able to give back, because the whole point in leadership, period, point blank in the story, is for you to be the catalyst for them to succeed, period. And when you do that, then the whole organization is successful. And I necessarily wasn't good at it either. I've been a nurse for 27 years, and I was all about the numbers, all about the matrix. And then it didn't work out very well for me. And so I had to turn around and I had to learn how to lead. And that was one thing. So I'm super excited that you said that. Now, how do you define success?
So success to me is your progress and achievement of a goal. because you're always, as a leader, you should set a goal and how you progress through that goal. And when I say progress, if you make something detours you, or if you come up, something blocks you, how you deal with that detour or some type of interruption in your goal. You find ways to overcome it, or any challenges, you find a way to overcome it and keep pushing forward. So I've just defined success as progress and achievement of a goal despite the challenges you might face. And there's people that have different viewpoints of what success is. Doesn't have to necessarily be numbers or glamour or appearance. It's how you push towards a goal and a destination. So that's how success is to me.
Now, how do you define wealth?
So wealth to me is abundance of something that provides fulfillment. So, and that's subjective according to what you determine what defines fulfillment. There's people may have a wealth of certain things, but they don't have fulfillment. So I don't think they're necessarily wealthy. If someone posed a question to me, "Are you rich?" and everyone who thinks they're rich raise their hand. And I rose my hand, even though I'm not rich. So by society's definition, but I find myself rich because I have plenty of friends that care for me. Now, when I say friends, I don't mean just people that hang around you. I mean friends that truly care deeply for me, and I realized who they were when my father passed, who always looked out for me. I have family that care for me. I'm healthy. I have a house. I don't have to worry about how to pay the next bill. I have a family that takes care of me. I have a good support environment wherever I go. So I am wealthy from that standpoint. This mind, body, spirit, all taken care of. So that's wealth. Mind, body, spirit taken care of.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that answer for wealth for sure.
Mhm.
So, thank you for coming on this platform.
No problem.
And I know that your dad and your sister are looking down, and they are just
Mhm.
super, super proud. I mean, I'm proud, and I mean, I'm super proud for you to be a fellow healthcare professional.
Mhm.
Super, super proud of your success. So my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. I'm the owner and CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, and the facilitator of Secret Suppers Worldwide with Dr. V, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be wealthy in all areas of their lives. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. Know that one of the goals of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is to expose you to leaders that have overcome, such as Dr. Alleyne, so that you know that your possibilities are endless. You can follow us on Twitter at The Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and please share this video. We have a group called The Nurse Nurturer on Facebook that you can join to receive uplifting content for healthcare professionals. You can also visit us at our website at vpnursing.com.